moment-to-moment struggle of somebody who, in the current scenario, actually identifies themselves as a part of LGBTQI community. First of all, coming out in itself is a task, okay? And then after that, the hurdles that you have. See, the basic thing, the wiring is, if we go by the needs of it, we first of all want to feel safe. If I feel unsafe, I am always constantly threatened and there is danger out there. Imagine living with this feeling 24/7. Your nervous system actually rewires and there are chemical changes, and I then also start expecting that, people will not get it.
They don't even have the basic skills because right from their childhood, they have been shunned by their families, ostracized by the society. And these are very basic life skills.
See, you have a banter, people joke around, people bond over the jokes about gender, about LGBTQI community. Now that's not acceptable. It really impacts your mindset. But the fact is, the more you talk about it, the more awareness there is, the more acceptability that person finds and the more safe a person feels. That's the very basic need.
The number of corporates who are open to understanding the importance of diversity, equity, inclusion, not from a philanthropic point of view, but as a good business strategy for growth, has grown a lot. The number of social institutions which have come out in the support is also tremendous. And we as society, when I say society, all the aspect and dimension of the society need to come together in this fight. Because remember, the number of people who are coming out after 2018 judgment have increased. At the same time, people with their hate have also increased.
Understanding that it's not about acceptance, because the moment you say I accept you, you put that person beneath you or you put the person on the pedestal. So allyship is not about acceptance. Putting yourself in the shoes of the LGBTI plus community, relating to their stories, understanding their stories, and trying to relate to their stories.
Education part is not limited to students, but also to the educators themselves. The educational space is, although I really appreciate how you have called upon this panel today, but there are a certain number of institutions who are still very orthodox about the concept. They still do not openly accept it, but they're taking it out in the wrong way.
As we talk about the LGBTI plus community, it's not about just living. It's also about thriving. It's also about, career progressions. All of us want to successfully earn careers, right? That's where, how can we create employment opportunities? Fine, we are having advocacy engagements, we are sensitizing people, we are educating people, but that is just one aspect. The next and important aspect is employment opportunities for the marginalized or less represented section. That is where a network which specializes in LGBTI plus individuals need to aggressively work towards creating employment opportunities.
All the student community out there, can you start taking these one little steps? And there are so many out there who suffer in silence, so many of them, even currently as we talk. Can we then, if the minute we recognize something, can we be kind? That's it. Can we really offer the kind words at that time? Can we really offer our presence at that time? Sometimes you need not even need explanations or justification or giving the courage or that motivational talk that, you must come out and everything in life will be. No, can you just offer your presence at that time? Maybe all they're looking for is that understanding, that you are looking at me as the person I am, not looking at me as a problem. That is how we also switch on the narratives.
Cross-check and see what you are doing at the grassroots level. Conversations, very much important, but right now I think maybe not being judgmental, but more or less individuals who are already aware of the LGBTI plus community or from the community, either impacted, influenced, are being part of this conversation. How can we create more kind of allies? How can we take this narrative at a wider level, and how can we actually bring in that change at the grassroots level? Let's also try to be our own enablers. I think that's how then this battle can be quickly won, is what I would say.
In the end, I would just like to say that please, when you want to talk about it, just it's okay to even think that you have to talk about it with somebody. There's nothing wrong with you. There is nothing wrong about exploring your identity. This is the part of the journey of life. So the idea would be, how about you mind your own journey? Okay, MYOJ, mind your own journey, and then just go forward on it. And life will definitely be turn out to be really wonderful. You will meet the right kind of people.
No matter what, in which position you are, you don't need to be the Prime Minister or the Supreme Court judge or the CEO or the board of director to start the change. Even if you are an employee, even if you are a student, you can start that change by talking about it very actively on your social media at least. When you see some kind of negative comments made on the community, in your friend circle, in your colleagues circle, in your family, please try to stop them then and there. Please try to give them the answer they are seeking in the language they understand. And if you do not even have an agency or the courage or strength to counter them, at least don't be part of that conversation. Because by being silent observer to somebody who is bullying, you are giving an approval to that bully. And a bully who is not stopped today becomes a bigger bully tomorrow.
Thank you for having this opportunity, a dialogue, creating that space for all of us to start having conversation around the issues which very much need our mindful attention.